It's your girl Stella again on Dear Stella TV. So thank you everyone who left me comments in the last video. I'm very grateful. Following up from last week's video, remember we talked about habits that cause major conflict in marriage. Today, I want to emphasize, I want to raise awareness about something very, very serious, which is making solo decisions in a marriage concerning something as major as having a baby. So anyway, before we get into it, guys, we always do the first thing. If you are new to our channel, get your drink anytime you want to watch my video. Let's have a drink together. Cheers. Guys, if you're new, what I do on this channel, what I aim to do is give you marriage tips, if you're a married couple, to help you to thrive, not to make like mistakes in your marriage, break some bad habits, and just get into loving yourself and having a happy married life. It's possible. And if you're single, to give you dating tips. So if you've missed season 1, because this is season 2, if you've missed season 1, I have 12 videos, I think, yes, available. Most of it was for singles, dating tips. So please like this video and every other video I have. Share the videos to your single or married friends, family, colleague, tell a friend to tell a friend, and just generally save somebody's marriage, save somebody's life through the grace of God, not by my power, not by my might, no, by the grace of God. So today we're going to talk about something major: making solo decisions. Making solo decisions is fine in a marriage if it is something that isn't significant, if it's something that isn't really important, but if it's something that's going to have an impact on your husband's life, women, we can't do that. I'm telling you, you can't do that. If you do, there are consequences. If your husband reacts in a negative way, becomes a mean person, treats you like dirt and all of that, well, you've got to give him time to adjust. That is the reality. We have to live with every decision we make every single day of our life. But I'm here to tell you as a woman that I think you are causing trouble for yourself and for your marriage. You just want to disturb the peace, the harmony of your home. If you go ahead and make a major decision all by yourself, it's bound to cause conflict, whichever way you look at it. And marriage is to be, it's a coming together of two people. It's about sharing. It's about loving. But once you break that cycle by, for example, you have a discussion with your husband, right? Mind you, if you're engaged or you're about to get married, please, for the love of God, have this discussion out with your wife, with your husband, how many kids you want to have, based on simple reasons like, for example, what kind of help you have around, are your parents around? So are the kids going to have grandparents to help? Do you have friends, support, do you have a support system? You have friends, you have people who can babysit for you while you go off and do your job, or while you need time off to rekindle your relationship, stuff like that. You need to decide depending on where you live. Like if you're living in Africa, that's pretty easy. You have quite a number of people you can get help a lot, especially family. But if you live abroad, it's trickier. Sometimes your family lives like in a different state or in a different country, in a different city. So be mindful of that. But I'm talking to couples who already have kids, maybe when they talked about it, the wife says, I want to have 4 kids. The husband says, I only want 2 kids because financially I can't cope and psychologically I'm not ready. I want to tell you that making a major decision like having kids is not something you take lightly, because children are not something that you can just go to a shop, go to a grocery store, buy it, and then it will expire. You throw it away, or you just get tired and you get rid of them. You can't. It's a lifelong commitment you are making when you say, I want to have children. So it's not something that you take lightly or something you sneak behind your husband and do it. A lot of women have done it and they have gotten their fingers burnt. Sometimes it causes so much rift in their marriage, there is no coming back from it. Or sometimes it takes years to come back from it. Because why? You have broken the trust in your marriage. You have sometimes some husbands, they feel they cannot sufficiently, contribute, whether financially, emotionally, physically, you know, being present, because having kids isn't something you can do part-time, you know, it's a full-time job, irrespective of what you're told. Because if you see my previous video about the things you can do with your kids, about 10 things, you should click on it. The link is below. You need to know that raising children isn't something you do by the side. It's not a side hustle. It's a full-time parental responsibility, because children are a gift from God. So now, let's come to it. It's not, I discourage you as a wife, because look, this is a skill, right? Let me just pretend this is a skill, right? So when you make joint decisions, everything is like this, is balanced. There's harmony, there's joy, there's happiness and everything. If you or your husband go and make a major decision, in this case, we're talking about having children. If your husband believes, or you guys have talked about it, that you want to, and you already have 2 children, and you talk about it, and you tell your husband that, oh, I'm using contraceptive, you know, birth control, and he believes you totally, and then he doesn't use protection when he's having, you know, a good time with you. And then 6 months down the line, 3 months down the line, 1 year down the line, you come with a boom news, I'm pregnant. The guy is dazed. He's like, what? But the first thing he'll say, you told me you were on the pill. Now, it's different if, for example, you were on the pill and the pill failed. Because husbands, let me warn you, the doctors tell you point blank, there is no pill that is 100% foolproof. Sometimes you have to use 2 combinations of technique, and if you want me to talk about that in another video, that's a separate video, to make sure, you know, that you don't have kids. However, if your husband believes you that, oh, you're taking care of it, and then you don't, and the worst is if you come off the pill, or you take off the contraceptive and you don't tell him. Women, please, I know you want to, there's some women that are passionate about having 5 kids and all of that, but you are not in a marriage alone by yourself, and you're not going to raise that child by yourself. Be fair to your husband. In the last video, I told you the rule of persuasion before purchase. Now, persuasion before having a baby. It's before getting pregnant. It's important. Be sensitive, be considerate. I said it last video. So now I'm saying, please, before you go on that lifelong journey, carry your husband along. It's not something that you should sneak behind him to do. You know, do it. Bring this child into his life and enrich your life, rather than creating distrust, disharmony. So because what happens about that scale is, now, before he thought, you know, you guys were at par, or he was here. Now when you make boom, you bring, I'm pregnant, you tilt the scale. Now you have more power, because you are the woman, because you are going to carry the baby, because it's your decision in a marriage, solo decision, right? So your husband feels like this. He's going to cry out to his friends, cry out to his family, maybe cry out to his colleagues, cry out to anybody he confides in, to say, look at what my wife has done, and blah, 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 blah. It's going to take him a while. Change is something that is difficult for some people to adjust. So know thy husband. That was rule number 1 I gave you in the last video. So if your husband is someone who is, you know, hard, even if somebody who is quick to change, that's a heavy news. People need time to adjust. I mean, I can't emphasize it enough. Please refrain from going that route, making solo decisions about major things. It causes serious conflict in marriage, and you can lose years of happiness, of peace, of joy, of harmony, of respect, of trust. And then you have to go back again to start building it, and it is draining and exhausting. Then that child comes and the husband disappears. He's emotionally unavailable. In fact, he doesn't even want to touch you anymore. He doesn't even want to help you raise the child, because it's like he's your child. Oh, I want a girl. There you go, your girl. Oh, I want a boy. Okay, there goes your boy. Sometimes some women have been blessed in such a way that they make a solo decision like that. They have this child and it turns around, they're married. But it takes time. During that pregnancy, most times, such men don't go near their wives. Sometimes that's when they start having affairs, you know. So don't provoke your husband in such a way that you bring out the ugliness in him. You know, you bring out the ugly side. You want a husband to be understanding, you have to be understanding. You want a husband who is sensitive, a wife, you have to be sensitive. You want a husband who is thoughtful, you have to be thoughtful. You want a husband who is compassionate, you have to be compassionate and considerate, you know. So if your husband is not ready to have a child, a 3rd child or 4th child, talk to people who can convince him. Counselor, I don't know, your parents, you know, put him under pressure. Make sure he agrees before you go ahead. That's my 2-cent advice. So, but I pray that in your marriage, that God will give you wisdom to work together for the greatness, for the goodness, for the fruitfulness, for the joy and peace of your home in Jesus' name. So, as you know, I always bring you a book. This is my book called Naked Attraction. It's available on Amazon, Nook, Kobo. If you get it, let me know. And this is my merch. Choose me. It's available too. My merch, the link is there. If you get it, please let me know. I hope I've been able to help today. Please like my video. Please share it and subscribe to my channel. Share it to your friends. You don't know who you're serving. Until next time, is your girl, Stella.